Getting back into the funky. You know I love it. Let's check it out. This one is called a 3-1-2-3-1. You know I love these funky little shapes, even if it's not a full asymmetric or anything like that, but I still love to take a look at that. We're going to check it out with our three teams of Liverpool, Aston Villa, and our championship side of Ipswich Town in just a minute. But the creator of this tested it out with Arsenal, came in second to Liverpool, funny enough, but didn't do a bad job whatsoever. So we're going to check it out, see how it does. Unfortunately, there's no other information in the description, so we're just going to have to go off that. But it does look like I said they had a fantastic season. So we're going to check it out. Let's jump into the Premier League and just see how our teams did. Well, interestingly enough, Aston Villa in sixth, not great with only 64 points, 63 goals. Liverpool in eighth is hurtful, 55 points, 62 goals. Something definitely went wrong for them. Well, since Aston Villa pipped Liverpool in the table, we are going to start with them first. Carabao Cup third round, you are out immediately against West Ham 0-2. And the FA Cup, you at least got to the quarters, but Brentford knocked you out 0-1. And unfortunately in the Conference League, you're out in the round of 16 against Lille. So overall, not the greatest of seasons. We have definitely seen better. We have definitely seen worse. But this is not a good one. Round of 16 quarterfinals is okay in the FA Cup. Third round, I mean, the Cups just didn't work either. The Premier League is just pretty abysmal. Not a lot of green, not like we're expecting much, but 14 goals for Zaniolo, Diaby only with 13, definitely low. John McGinn and Zaniolo with 11 assists apiece. An average rating, Luka Sukic with 724, but for the long timers, 706 for Pau Torres. And as we change over to Liverpool, you can see Carabao Cup quarterfinals against their bitter rivals, Manchester United. 1-3 is where they bow out. And then the FA Cup quarterfinals is where they bow out against Manchester in blue, Manchester City 0-3. They do get to the semi-finals of the Europa League, unfortunately losing out to Roma after beating Bayern. That's interesting enough. And Porto, wow. So overall, this is definitely a very sad season for Liverpool fans. Eighth place is not good. Out of all contention in Europe for the next season, not great at all. You do get to the semifinals of the Europa League, but you still can't get past Roma after beating Porto and Bayern. That's not great. Quarters of the Carabao Cup and FA Cup, you'd like to have done better. Yep, only 5 in the green, not surprising. Only 16 goals for Salah. Koopa Miners comes in though, but where is Darwin Nunez all the way down? 3 starts, 2 goals, crazy. Assists though, 12 assists for McAllister. Average rating, Virgil van Dijk with a 723. Aston Villa's data hub, well, they're fouled more than any other team almost. Well, not quite any other team, but the attacking side is definitely woeful. Some defensive woes as well, but overall you got some nice numbers, although 1.66 goals per game, 1.37 conceded, and 1.59 xG against. And then only +5 clear-cut chances, one every 73 minutes. Liverpool definitely well below their attacking prowess that you usually see. Defensively, though, not too bad. And if we look overall, goals per game only 1.63, 1.26 conceded, 1.32 xG against. They do have a +13 clear-cut chances, though, one every 71 minutes. Premier League stats, Aston Villa in 6th with 1.68, Liverpool in 8th with 1.45. Most goals, Aston Villa in 5th with 63, Liverpool only 1 down in 62. Fewest shots against, Liverpool with 349, Aston Villa with 407. Most possession, Aston Villa and Liverpool both sitting at 59%. Best pass completion, Aston Villa in 90%, Liverpool with 1 down in 89. Most shots for Liverpool in 7th with only 454. But now, how did our championship side of Ipswich Town do? 13th. Absolutely abysmal. 59 points, 77 goals. That is insane. I mean, the sheer amount of red and yellow that we see, mostly red, is pretty crazy. But you do see Carabao Cup 4th round 0-2 against Newcastle and FA Cup 3rd round 1-2 against Wolves. So overall, not a good season at all. I mean, 13th place is pretty awful. And then the Cups, yeah. Squad-wise, I'm actually surprised they've got 3 in the green. But goals, 13th for Broadhead, not great at all as the tops. Assist, 13 for Wes Burns. And then average rating, well, let's see. George Edmondson with 17 starts, 18 off the bench. A 708. 702 for Wolfenden, though. Championship stats, 13th, 1.28 points per game. The rest of it, though, most goals, Ipswich in 7th with 77 goals, most possession, 2nd place in 60%, and then best pass completion in 3rd with 90, and that's it. So, taking a look at the tactic itself, we start out with a sweeper keeper in defend, wide center backs on the left and the right in support, a central defender in defend in the center spot, deep line playmaker in defend, a CM in attack next to a Mazzala in attack, an inverted winger in attack on the left, and an inside forward in attack on the right, an advanced playmaker in support, and then a false 9 in support up front. Balanced mentality, in possession attacking with his fairly narrow approach plays pass into space, focus play down the left and the right, passing directness much shorter, tempo is slightly higher, mixed crosses, work the ball in the box and run a defense. In transition, counter press, counter, distribute quickly, distribute to the center backs and roll it out. And then out of possession, a low block line of engagement, a higher defensive line, trigger press much more often, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in, and step up more. So how did it do for our three teams overall? I mean, clearly Ipswich Town having an absolute awful time. Only 59 points, sitting in 13th place. Usually they're first, second, maybe third or fourth, but this is pretty abysmal for them. And if we go to Aston Villa and Liverpool, you can see, I mean, Aston Villa getting 6th place is not awful for them. It's not great. 64 points are definitely expected to be higher. Liverpool at 8th, though, is pretty awful. 55 is about 30 points lower than their average. So I don't think this worked at all for these three teams. I definitely think if you're trying this type of formation, you definitely need to work a lot more closely with your squad and fitting them into that at least shape of a tactic and see how things work. Transfers, always bring them in as you see fit and see how they can kind of bolster your team. But in this case, I don't see it really working all that well. But that's it for me, 7FM for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.